What's up, y'all? More bonus content this week of Shoebooty Sports. Graham kind of dropped the ball a little bit on watching the clock, and by a little bit, I mean a lot of bit. But Graham Powell here, Bradley Brown's still over there. Same night, just
Yep.
some more bonus content coming at you this week. 2 weeks in a row. So, if anything, happy for all of you that get even more of us this week for 2 weeks in a row. I'll just go ahead and finish my point on the Caitlin Clark thing. It was the Minnesota Lynx they played Sunday. The Fever got the win in. I can't remember what their record is now, but after starting 0-6, and I think they were 1-8 at one point, they've won like 10 of their last eight or something like that. So it's a much better team, the Indiana Fever. That is, I will look at their standings just to.
Did you say they won 10 out of their last eight?
Well, yeah,
That's pretty impressive.
that is
That's
pretty good. They've gone 10-8 in their last 18, something like that.
okay.
Okay, last 10 games, they're 6-4. We'll go that's what I'm looking at here. But I think they are 10-8 in their last 18 games. But they've won 6 of their last 10. They are now 11-14 overall. Uh, Going back to the rookie of the year comparison record wise to the Monica McNutt chick, who actually called that game between the Fever and Lynx. And I thought did a decent job calling the game. She said that she would give the WNBA or the Rookie of the Year to Angel Reese because Chicago Sky has a better chance of making the playoffs. Indiana's 11-14, Chicago's 9-14. Now, granted, the Sky is currently kicking the crap out of the Vegas Aces right now, the reigning champs. So, I mean, kudos to them for that. I would like to see how Angel Reese is doing in that one. Yeah, they're at 40-21 with 4:46 to play in the second. That's the Chicago Sky, that is. Um, and Angel Reese is lighting it up with 2 points and 5 rebounds. She's a whopping 1 of 4 from the field, so not exactly lighting it up on the scoreboard there. But what I was going to say was Caitlin Clark didn't light it up either,
Yeah.
shooting in the game I saw them play. She had a very poor performance shooting from the field, from 3-point range, really from anywhere on the floor. She had a very poor game shooting. She had some costly turnovers that were very ill advised, which she does. Um, I think a lot of that is just too. She's a point guard, so she handles the ball more than anyone else on the floor. But I'm not going to make that's not me making excuses for. They were some of those were poor turnovers. That's on her. But to what I was going to say was, despite her having a poor performance shooting in that game, she still got to the line late, made clutch free throws late, still ended with 17 points. Had a bad night shooting, a really bad night shooting, and still ended the game with 17 points, and still made her team better. That's the big difference. She makes her team so much better. If anything, she draws attention to get better looks for her teammates. And she's still, despite the costly turnovers at times, a really good passer and has a really high number of assists. I think she leads the league in assists, actually. Like to look that up if I could, but don't really. Yeah, sure. That's Yeah. Caitlin Clark currently leads the league in assists as a rookie. So for all the talk about Angel Reese leading the league in rebounding, which is good, she has point 0.1 more than Asia Wilson does per game to lead the league in rebounding. Again, a third of her rebounds are off her own miss throw. So take that
Yeah.
for what it is. But yes, Caitlin Clark leads the league in assists. Averages 7.8 assists per game. So there you go. That's your rookie of the year. Whether she wins it or not, that's the rookie of the year, Caitlin Clark. Okay, so that's all I have to say on that. We are in the bottom of the eighth, I believe, going back to the MLB All Star game. No, we are top nine now. Top nine, so it's the last chance for the National League, isn't it? Yeah,
Believe so.
yeah, they are at bat. So 3 outs.
So is there
Uh,
anything on the line with the All-Star game anymore? Is it
I don't
the winner
remember.
gets home field advantage in the World Series or
I
anything
don't.
like that anymore?
I don't think so. I think they got rid of that. I hope they did because it's silly. It's silly to put that much at stake in an exhibition game. It's supposed to
Yeah.
be a fun game. I remember when John Kruk had Randy Johnson throw a ball behind him, and then he basically just spent the rest of the at bat swinging like at what he knew were bad pitches just so he could get out of there. Like just, I mean, it was. It's supposed to be an exhibition. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be competitive, but it's still supposed to be an exhibition at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I get you want to make it mean something. You don't want it to turn into the NBA All-Star game, which has become just really a joke. It's getting to be to where it's the Pro Bowl 2.0. Maybe we're not quite that bad.
Not quite that bad. Pro Bowl's been, they're doing flag football now. So
Yeah, but the NBA All-Star game has been last year was a joke. The game itself was an actual joke.
yeah.
The Saturday night events were fun, but the All-Star game was a joke. It was terrible. I was a little bit depressed. I can't get those 2-3 hours back, whatever it was. But yeah, three more outs to go for the American League. When's it? You were talking about Hog Baseball. They did have the MLB Draft. Hagen Smith went what, fifth overall to the Chicago White
Fifth,
Sox, the ace
yeah,
pitcher for the Razorbacks.
fifth overall. I think that's our highest drafted pitcher in Hogs history. So
Wow,
yeah, it's
what
pretty good. They
player was
also had,
drafted higher than that?
huh?
What player, Hog player was drafted higher than
He might have been the highest overall player, or highest drafted player.
I'm sure
So
Andrew Benintendi went pretty high.
yeah,
I don't remember how high, but I'm sure he went pretty high. But you said something like 5 Razorbacks were drafted. I didn't know all
yeah,
that. I just knew Hagen Smith.
yeah. Five that I know of. I read somewhere that there was like eight, but I believe it's five active players with like two commitments or two signees. They had, of course, Hagen Smith, round one, pick five to the White Sox. Peyton Stovall went in the fourth round to the Reds. Mason Molina went in the seventh round to the Brewers. Jared Spraglot, is that how you say his name? His round nine went to the Oakland A's. Our catcher Hudson White, he went in the ninth round to the Boston Red Sox. Ben McLaughlin, he went in round nine to the Diamondbacks, and a couple of pitchers, Faraday, went in round 11 to the Marlins, and Brady Tiger went in round 12 to the Red Sox. So there's also other two signees slash transfers that went, but I'm not going to say them since they didn't step foot on campus. So
Okay, so going back to whether or not the MLB All-Star game has any meaning on who gets home field advantage to the World Series, since since 2017, the league that wins the All-Star game no longer gets home field advantage in the World Series. Instead, that advantage is reserved for the pennant-winning team with the better regular season record, which is the way it
as
should
it
be, but
should,
it's
as it
apparently been
should.
like that since 2017, and we were just unaware of that.
Man, I mean, I figured it was no longer like that. I just wanted to see if we could confirm it.
Yeah, because you don't hear it, but you didn't hear about it. Nobody was mentioning it like during the game. And honestly, I haven't followed baseball very closely until the postseason in the last several years, probably
Yeah,
10 years. When the Cardinals stopped being like contenders, I kind of lost interest.
yeah,
And I have YouTube TV now, which the downside like of that is compared to cable is you would get regional baseball games. So I would get Cardinals baseball games regularly.
yeah,
Don't get that with YouTube TV. I
yeah. I
haven't
was
seen the
gonna,
Cardinals play since they like I've seen the Cardinals play maybe once, and it was on like Sunday Night Baseball, and that's the only other time I can see them play.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I was gonna mention that earlier. Just don't catch a lot of Cardinals game on YouTube TV. Like you said, I've only seen them play once this year, and I believe it was on Sunday Night Baseball.
Yeah.
So
So maybe that's why I'm leaning toward the Phillies now because I actually see them more.
yeah,
There's that,
Phillies are on quite a bit. Yeah.
and they're good, and it's a really good team. But okay, so going back on this rule a little bit, uh, let's see. The All-Star winner receiving home field advantage in the World Series was initially a 2-year experiment before being extended, though many baseball fans didn't care for it, myself included. In that
Yeah.
time frame, the American League won 11 of those 14 All-Star games, and AL teams won 8 World Series. So there you go. That was definitely advantage American League. I mean, the American League has always been better talent-wise uh, since I've been alive. I mean, the American League is always the better league for whatever reason. Now, I mean, you got some National League teams that are the best team in some years, like the San Francisco Giants when they won 3 during the Bruce Bochy era. The Cardinals really were underdogs the 2 years that they won it in my lifetime. They were definitely underdogs in '06, and yet they won it in 5 games. And the best World Series I've ever seen, they were the underdog. The 2011 World Series, where they came back and beat the Rangers. And David Freese is going to get free drinks and meals in the city of St. Louis for the rest of his life, as he deserves, as he should.
Yep.
Forever legend there in Cardinal Nation. But yeah, I would say that's good to go back to the way it should be. The team with the best regular season record gets home field advantage. I mean, it makes the regular season mean something. All-Star game doesn't have to mean something. It's supposed to be for fun. Do you want it to be competitive? Yeah, of course. But at the end of the day, it's still an exhibition. It's still for
Hey,
fun.
guess who won the American League? They just flashed a stat on the screen. Won 10 of the last 11 All-Star games. So there you go.
A good game. I mean, I did. Now the last half of it, we were in here podcasting, but from what I saw, it was a very good game.
Yeah.
It was at least interesting, and yeah, it's been a good All Star weekend for Major League Baseball. And the good thing about it, and another thing with the NBA, they get like 9 days off after the All Star break. It's a joke. Adam Silver is the most. It's not even player friendly. It's like, dude, the players are running the league. Like you're not even
Yeah.
running it at this point. You're letting them run the league. To have and you had guys sitting. You had like for the Celtics, you had like Tatum and guys sitting the last game before the All-Star break for load management. And you get 9 days off after that. Man, that's a bad look. That is a really bad look. And the Major League Baseball, I saw that the next game, regular season game, is at least they advertise for one Saturday or Sunday. So yeah, you get a little bit of a break, but yeah, you're back to it by the end of the week. So it's shout out Major League Baseball, man.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, was there something else that you wanted to talk about that you had? Oh, there is one thing I wanted to discuss. All right, so ESPN they still do the Make a Wish thing, by the way, which I had forgotten. I'm not gonna say I'd forgotten about it. I just didn't know whether or not they did it because I don't watch ESPN regularly anymore. It just, I mean,
It's different.
yeah, it's different. I'll put it that way. It's not the ESPN we grew up on. It's now it's too political. It's not sports. It's not straight
Yeah.
sports, which is what I grew up loving. So, but they still do the Make a Wish thing. And one of them was for Katie Ledecky, who is the most dominant swimmer I've seen since Michael Phelps. Compared to at least in who she's in competition with on the women's side. dominant swimmer. And it was, with her and another, her and a child, and that was the Make-A-Wish thing. And, she came and met with Katie Ledecky, and she signed some stuff, hung out with her, swam with her, and taught her some, certain strokes and, swimming stuff that I don't know anything about other than your basic, I can swim. That's all I know as far as swimming goes. That's
You can
it.
tread some water. Yeah.
Yeah. Katie Ledecky did it, went in and showed her like, swimming, race swimming stuff. But seeing Katie Ledecky, it's clear why she is so much better than everybody else. Dude, physically, she's just impressive looking. Like
Yeah.
Michael Phelps looked like he was made in a pool.
Yeah.
Like he was, he's tall, long, massive back as far as wide, arms, wingspan, feet just look like flippers. He just looks like he was made to be Aquaman, just made to be a person that swims and swims for speed. Katie Ledecky looks the exact same way, but as a woman, like doesn't look like Michael Phelps, but in woman form, Katie Ledecky just looks the part. Strong legs, but not big. Um, the two most impressive things that stood out to me was one, her back. Her back looks like Phelps's did, where it's broad, it's muscular, but just looks like it's made for swimming. Like looks like she's made to do killer strokes, right? In any way, shape, or form. And just her arms, muscly, but muscly as in like a swimmer would have. Like not bodybuilder, but just looking at her as a physical specimen, I can see why she is so dominant. And she is the one person I'll watch the swimming events for. I don't care about the men, anybody else on the women's side. I will tune in to watch Katie Ledecky. She's that impressive. All
So when
right.
are the Olympics starting? End of this month?
Yeah, I know for sure they start in August. But I think it's in like a week and a half or 2 weeks. Let's Google that real quick. We have time. That's a good thing about having bonus content.
This is true.
When do my fat thumbs can't, it already knows what I'm going to say. Yeah, we are 10 days out. Is that really it? I thought the Olympics were like a whole month. According to this,
Like
it's like
2 weeks.
yeah, it's like 2 weeks. I thought it was like
Yeah.
feels like a month when the Summer Olympics are out.
Well, with all the trials and everything else, I mean it is. But yeah, it's usually only 2.5 weeks. Of course, it's televised 24/7. It seems like so. I think it feels a little bit longer than what it is.
Oh, there's no themes. It's televised 24/7 because it's overseas. I mean, they're 7 hours ahead of us, so it's going to be on really late and early. I mean, it's going to be on all the time. And I guess you're right about that. I guess that's why it seems like that. But yeah, Friday, July 26th, or yeah, Friday, July 26th is opening night. I guess opening ceremony. Last day is Sunday, August 11th. And barring another pandemic, we'll have another one. The next one won't be for 4 more years. So man, I'm gonna be watching the Olympics for 2.5 weeks, whatever it is. But yeah, we'll I guess we'll be doing an Olympic preview next week. Let's look at the calendar. I'm not really, I don't know if I'm doing my math right or not. Yeah, it'll be probably either Olympic preview episode next week, or we'll definitely be talking a lot of the Olympics 2 weeks from now because it will be underway. So yes, next Friday, not this Friday, but the next opening ceremony of the Olympics. And I don't have a race till August 10th. So I don't have anything to do next weekend that I know of. So yeah, I'll be tuning into the Olympics next Friday and next weekend. All right, so touched up on what I wanted to touch up on. We got 2 episodes to upload now. Bonus content, everybody. Congratulations on that.
Oh, yeah.
All right, are we missing anything, Brad, before we get out of here?
I don't think so. Probably, but nothing I can think of. At least when I was thinking about talking about it, it's not coming to me yet. So
It'll probably come to you as soon as we get off of here. But if it's that good, we'll get it to you next week. But until then, we're going to get out of here. We'll see y'all next week. This is Grandpa.
Brother Brown,
Deuces, y'all.
peace.
That's the most delayed piece ever.